Hello. Um, Kind of a controversial subject, I think, considering. I wanted to talk about the impact, the effect um, of varying degrees of being social, um, basically, what that does to somebody with avoidant personality disorder. Now, again, for the gajillionth time, um, I make these videos based on things that I come across in my life. Now, for me, I have a job that allows me to interact with people, and not in depth. Very, like, okay, I know a lot about them and they know nothing about me. The people I work for and the people I work with, the people I, serve. Let's call it that. And so I sort of get a hit off of them that I'm around people, but I'm not putting anything of myself out into the world. Um, and so I'm insulated from a lot of what happens with avoidant people. Um, but then the other thing that happens often is people become completely isolated. And even when you're introverted, even I mean, see, this is the problem with avoidant personality disorder. Um, you avoid because you don't think you're worthy of other people. You don't think you're worthy of relationships. You don't think that they're safe for you. Basically, what everybody else has, you can't have. Um, so there is a drive to have people in your life. Um, but there's also the other side of it, the very introverted part. And again, in my gut, I believe there are people with avoidant personality disorder or something similar that are extroverted, and I think they're so much worse off. I can't even imagine. And even though I bet I personally am an ambivert to a degree, if I want to be truthful, but who wants to do that? So there's the other part of you that needs the space. That's part of the reason you have people in your life, because how do you negotiate that? If you can't negotiate, then how can you negotiate time for yourself to recharge, time when you're not on call as a part of the relationship? um, it's very difficult. Oh, cat. That's Lily. I guess she wants to participate herself. um, anyway, ignore them. um, so what happens if you absolutely completely drop out of society? It's like this great fantasy to be able to do that, to not have to interact with people, not have to have a job, definitely not have to interact with the people who treated you so poorly that you had the trigger to become avoidant, to actually have a personality disorder. I mean, that's obviously staying away from them. Great. I mean, look at me. You know, look at how much my life changed since my mother died. And I don't have to deal with that anymore. Too long didn't read a huge amount. My life is so much better that I don't have her in it at all. And I mean, she died without warning, because she had an illness that she'd had again and again and again, and had been treated again and again and again, and she just stubbornly said, well, okay, well, this time I'm going to go, and called hospice, and hospice gave her enough comfort medication. She complained enough that they gave her enough comfort medication that she died. So she really was in control, right up to the end. And not having that in my life has been tremendous. However, I also, I just said I had the cat come over. I think that I would be in a much worse place if I didn't have the cats. My instinct to take care of somebody, that's how I was raised. This is my job in life, is take care of something or somebody. I think if I didn't have the cats, I would have probably a pretty toxic person instead, to be frank. So between having clients that I don't really interact with at all, and the cats, more or less that's how I interact with the world. But if I didn't have them, it would be horrible. But I would fill that hole. I would have somebody else. And I would be a basket case, if you'll excuse the phrase. I would be so anxious and nervous and worrying about it all the time. I worried now. Okay, people who I talk to every once in a while, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't heard from them. Oh my God, I sent a message and I didn't get a reply back. It is the same stupid freak out that everybody does, now. But on the other hand, oh my goodness, I've got somebody that's sending me messages. Oh my goodness, and I can't control it. Oh my goodness, they're sending me messages. It's so annoying. So yeah, I worry all the time. So of course I would worry if there was an actual person in my life. The thing is this: it's very common to have avoidant personality disorder comorbidly diagnosed with depression. Now there are, and to the point where a lot of people think that their depression symptoms are actually the avoidant personality disorder, or they self-diagnose as avoidant personality disorder because they are depressed. The thing is this: first of all, there is a physical depression, like a brain chemical imbalance. If that's the case, go on the meds, get that taken care of. You can have that and also have avoidant personality disorder. So even though there aren't any medications that actually affect the avoidant personality disorder, if you have a brain chemistry problem, then antidepressants can help take care of that part of it. It could be that. But most of the depression from people with avoidant personality disorder are due to it's a completely logical reaction to their life. If you have taken your abuser out of your life, kudos to you. I wish that I had been able, I really do. I wish I had been able to do it on my own instead of having it done for me. I think that would have been tremendously empowering. I also would have gotten a lot more abuse if I had done that. You get rid of those two things. What happens then is that you could very well have depression that is literally caused by isolation. And it goes against everything that you're imagining. You will think, another cat, that's Pops. The first one was Lily, this one's Poppy. Anyway, you will think that it's going to cause so much more anxiety, and it could very well, if you're interacting with people, um, you're going to predict, because that's what avoidant personality does to people. It, avoidant personality disorder. It it makes you look at your entire history, and based on your entire history, predict what's going to happen in the future, and force you to um, live your life according to those predictions instead of like the reality of what's actually right in front of you. I mean, you could have a very nice person, but it won't matter, because your avoidant personality disorder is going to tell you that that person is dangerous. I mean, my favorite one, I mean, this is just the fact that I'm aware of it and it's so lame does not change the fact that I think that if somebody's like, if they like me or if they're interested in me in any capacity, I mean, there are people that have, they slipped through before I realized I had the diagnosis, basically. But um, other than that, other than a very, very few people, I'm like, if somebody new meets me and they like like me, and I don't mean that like in a romantic thing, but I mean if they like are interested in me at all, if they, yeah, whatever, there's a part of me that's going, okay, you have a bad set of discernment, and you can't realize that I'm bad news. And if you can't figure that out, that means that you probably got other people that are bad news in your life. And therefore, even if you're okay, the people that you're hanging out with are probably dangerous, and probably I need to not have anything to do with you. That's just lovely that that's how my brain works. Um, and the reason I'm saying that is because your brain might do the same thing that you don't realize. Again, I repeat myself a lot on this channel, but just being aware, I think, is a huge help. So, um, if you are starting to feel depressed, first of all, recognize it. I mean, sometimes you just don't even know. So pay attention to um, what sort of the defining characteristics of depression are. You know, if you've had it for a significant number of years and it's pretty stable, then there's a very good chance that it is a brain chemistry issue. Go ahead and try and get that taken care of, medication. But if you do have, like, your life is just changing and you're slipping into these things, just be aware of what the depression is, and pay attention to what kind of interactions you're having. Because as much as we maybe wish that we just didn't have to deal with it at all, because you get burnt out. You're just like, trying to figure out who's safe and who's not. Come on. Trusting somebody and then finding out that they're doing X, Y, or Z, and everything that I had thought that I had built with this person, that I thought they were my friend, I thought they liked me, and then I find out they're talking about me behind my back. What the hell? I mean, it just, to say it throws you for a loop is like the understatement of the century. And then you've got to deal with the absolute, you know, all the consequences of, can you fake that you're still letting this person be in your life, or are you just going to cut them loose and then deal with them going, where did you go? Because they will say, where did you go? If they, I mean, because we are more sensitive to things that other people might be able to literally laugh off or work through, the relationship issues. Like, you said this thing and it actually hurt my feelings. Or even, being totally sarcastic and not, and like totally indirectly making snarky remarks until they pick up on it. You can't even do that when you have avoidant personality disorder. And that's how people sort of get on with each other and get over problems and set boundaries of, this is what I find acceptable, this is how you can tease me, and this is, don't don't ever go there. I keep secrets. It's hard to say that. There are things that I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to destroy our relationship. I'm not going to let you have access to this part of me, because if you make a false step, I will have to leave, and I don't want to do that. That's what I do. But in reality, if you don't have anybody in your life, and I know this is coming up to a time when, you know, a lot of holidays worldwide. This is just a month for it, you know. It's like every 6 months, just you either have to deal with people or you have to deal with not having people. And it's sort of thrust in your face. You know, getting the extra day off for the holiday should be great unless you're supposed to be spending it with people and you just don't have people that you can spend it with. So, be aware if that is a trigger point for you. Be aware of what the signs of depression are. And if possible, and I know people with, you know, there's introversion, and then there's like, you know, agoraphobia. They're not the same. They're not the same by a long shot. Introverted people can and should still be around other people. This way that I describe it, it's probably very strange to say you get a hit off of people in the safest way possible. Very weird. I'll go to movies. I used to go to movies. See, I've gone to the movie theater 3 times in like less than 2 months. And I sit in the movie for 2 hours, and there are people around me, but I do not have to interact with them. And we're all having this one experience of watching the movie. It's interesting to me that I've been doing that. I feel like there's maybe a part of me that actually wants to interact more or differently than how I have been, except on the other hand, I'm telling you, the people in my life are stressing me out too. And I don't mean like my actual relatives, like my son or whoever. I mean people. Either too much or too little. I can't find that Goldilocks thing. But I'll go to a movie, and because all the pressure of interacting is gone, it seems to be, it's hugely curious to me that I even put a movie review on the channel. Come on. What? What? But I'm seeing it in other people. I'm seeing it in a coworker who is basically either working absolutely like to the bone and is stressing everybody out because basically she does not want to be working as much as what she's working. So she's like, okay, so everybody has to be working at 100% all the time. It's like, excuse me, I have a job where the clients come and go. And so there are lull periods, but lull is not acceptable. Go, 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 because it's possible, I don't know, that we could do something that would make her able to leave work a little earlier. And she's doing absolutely nothing but work and take care of her family, and that's it. And she has no life other than that. I'm like, girl, burnout city is coming. And then there's, like, at this point, my son um, has been working quite a long time, for years, and he absolutely hates it because that's the American way. Um, and he has stopped working. He was like, okay, that's it. I can't do this anymore, and quit. And actually, I saw the people he was working with and the conditions he was working in. I was actually pretty proud of him for getting out of that situation. Um, I mean, it would have been better for him to have another job first, but he also really needed a break and he really needed rest. And he's had the rest, and now he's beyond the rest. And he has another job he starts next week, but he has basically been becoming a hermit and not interacting with anybody. And he's like, I hate people. I don't want to deal with people. I don't want anything to do with people. It's clear as a bell. If he spends an entire day home with his cats, um, he can barely move. He's so depressed. And then, even if he's like so grumpy, oh, I have to go grocery shopping or whatever, and absolutely hates it, and he's just like the biggest grump you ever seen in your life, but then he'll call me and say, geez, I feel so much better just being around people a little bit. So if you are getting into a cycle like that, go out and do something around people. Don't force yourself to interact with them. Um, you know, just be around. Um, a lot of times, if I'm like that, I will go for a drive through areas where there are people like walking down the sidewalk, and I get the same effect. I know that's really weird. Um, I've been able to pinpoint and fine tune, and how I'm doing it is by paying attention. What is it I'm doing? Do I feel better after I do that than I felt before? Okay. Is this, interaction with people, is it okay or is it too stressful? Um, but I think that it is a key component to avoiding becoming depressed is um, being around people in some way. So don't isolate yourself so much that you get to that point. Try to keep it in whatever range works for you. So weird. I got these cats like right at my feet. By the way, I still don't understand why these cats like me. Anyway, whatever. um, that's what keeps coming up for me today and this week is trying to find a way to thread the needle, to have enough people in your life that you don't fall into depression, but also that you don't stress yourself out and make everything worse. Anyway, there it is. There's my video. Um, and I guess have a good one. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.